That's part of the game. You want to be the guy at the top. You want to be the guy that's on the top of the leaderboards. And I've been doing a good job at that recently. They call me the pay-per-view guy these days. They're making a documentary about this, guys. They're making a documentary called The Streak. Big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. I'm throwing big meaty hooks all damn night. Throwing big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. Big meaty hooks. I'm throwing big meaty hooks all damn night. Throwing big meaty hooks. The biggest, meatiest hooks. Lima's kicks are pretty nasty, dude. He's landed some great shots. He's about to win this fight, and we are... Wait a second. I forgot. I'm about to get my first fight of the night right. I'm going to say this when there's 2,000 people in here, because it needs to be said. I started off the year as Mr. 57%, even though every other content creator was like 59, 58, right? But they saw me as the lowest on the list. Since then, I've been the best content creator at predictions. At least major content creator. There are some that have probably gotten like really decent picks, but no one's that far ahead of me. Guarantee you I'm higher than everyone else that was on that list now. I'd be at least in top three. Top three best. Top three best. I know MMA Guru's been doing pretty well, but I actually have some really good predictions. And people will say, cope, man. No, you don't, bro. Cope, man. Cope. But I'm about to get this one right. Like, name all the ones that I've got wrong. You're going to have to... literally, if you tried to name 5 wrong predictions, you would have to go over the span of 5 different... You'd have to get like 3 events back to back to even find 5. You could count the wrong predictions that I've had over the course of the last 3 UFC cards on one hand. Yeah! Straight up. I can't wait to tally up my picks after tonight, because I have a feeling this is the night of the favorites. You picked Barboza? Yeah, I did pick Barboza, but that was not a great pick. But, you know, to be fair, Barboza was coming off of his craftiest ever performance where it wasn't about his athleticism, his chin, or anything like that. It was just about his, like, IQ. Barboza's fight IQ was insane, right? I think that's why I picked him. It was because he still had a little bit of, you know, he's an old head that's from Brazil. They obviously always have speed. But it's because his performance was so crafty and high fight IQ. So I was like, dude, even if Lerone Murphy's in his prime and, like, you know, more durable, Barboza's going to outsmart him. Lucas doesn't make a prelim. What? Doesn't make a prelim fight unless he thinks Guru. Oh. That's absolute bullshit. That's bullshit. The only time I will pick a fight that I wasn't going to pick anyway, I mean, that fucking never happens, first off. I know what you're referring to. You're referring to the fucking Veronica Hardy stuff. I just have a good time picking Veronica Hardy and not doubting the wizard that is Dan Hardy. And I especially enjoy picking it because I know that you're always picking against her. But people act like I don't pick fights. People act like Lucas only picks close fights when I don't pick one certain type of fight, and that's a WMMA fight that's irrelevant. She's a tough cookie. She's a tough cookie. Those are the only fights I don't pick. You've got people out here thinking that I'm picking like 2 fights on the prelims and the main card alone like I'm the weasel, bro. This ain't the same, dude. I didn't know people so desperately wanted to hear my take on a totally irrelevant WMMA fight. But I will say this. I think that people are right to say that you got to pick them all. I agree. I think you do have to pick them all. I agree. And I'll start doing it. I'll start picking them all. Because here's the thing. And I think that you know this well. The WMMA fights can make you or break you. Right? Listen, if I don't pick 2 WMMA fights, and those are the easy ones to pick, and they, you know, people call them coin tosses or whatever, but sometimes you always know who's going to win. If everyone goes without the WMMA fights 5-3, and you pick the WMMA fights, you're 7-3. That looks a whole lot better than me, 5-3, right? But they'll break you sometimes because sometimes you'll be 5-5 if you end up picking them. So it's, you know, you got to know when to do it and when not to. But it's only the WMMA ones. I never, ever miss real fights. All right? How did you know the fight that I was referring to? Because I know that you've not picked Veronica Hardy a single time, dude. And I always have fun picking Veronica Hardy because, like, I'm a Dan Hardy fan, you know? So, yeah. I just think Gaziev has this in the bag, to be honest. And my only reasoning is always, I think, you know, Dan Hardy's going to be in her corner, man. He's going to be doing tape study and getting into the weeds. No, I just have fun always picking Veronica Hardy. But I might not pick her next time, depending on how much of a bump up she gets in competition. But yeah, you've got, people out here acting like I don't pick Andre Lima versus Mitch Raposo type of fights. Of course I do. If I wasn't picking these fights, then of course. You can say that my predictions ain't serious, but, listen, I don't think, this, I know this, people are skipping past the early prelims Jocelyn Edwards fights unless it's against Eileen Perez. The only reason we're breaking down Eileen Perez and anyone listens is because she's the twerk girl. All right? That's the only time where a WMMA fight's interesting to pick. If it's like a famous WMMA fighter, they have like controversy, or it's like someone that everyone hates. But if it's just a regular WMMA fight that's like a prelim fight, people just don't care. And I don't really care to even look into the weeds sometimes. My track record of picks down to my Veronica Hardy tendencies. Studying all my picks before he makes his confirmed. Holy moly, what is this? Thank you for the $5. No, but like the Veronica Hardy ones. Well, I mean, I watch your predictions, of course. I watch all the big channels' prediction videos. And I remember the important fights, dude. And I enjoy the Veronica Hardy ones because I always get them right. And you always get them wrong. So that's why I remember them. There's always a bit of a competition between me and the other MMA YouTubers and me and MMA Guru when it comes to picks, guys. Because it always feels great when I get one right and some of these guys don't get them right, And it sucks when I'm the one that has a bad night and everyone else does well. That's part of the game. You want to be the guy at the top. You want to be the guy that's on the top of the leaderboards. And I've been doing a good job at that recently. They call me the pay-per-view guy these days. They call me the pay-per-view guy. As I was saying about my picks, guys, I was 57. I was Mr. 57 at the start of the year. Not anymore. I guarantee you that same list that came out that the Weasel was reading, the Weasel definitely nitpicked that one. That guy tallied up 3 fights from me. But either way, I thought it was hilarious when the Weasel was at the top of the list. The Weasel had missed 5 fight nights up until that point. And he had picked, the easy pay-per-views. But, man, it's really the nitty-gritty fight nights. The nitty-gritty fight nights. Those are always the battles. No, but actually, sometimes the fight nights are the competitive ones. Sometimes the fight nights are the ones where, you either do horribly or they're easy, you go 10-1. The pay-per-views are usually a little bit mixed. It's harder to go 10-1 on a pay-per-view than it is a fight night. But I've been doing it. I've been pulling it off somehow, some way. They're making a documentary about this, guys. They're making a documentary called The Streak, like they did with the Oakland A's. They made the Moneyball movie. Now they're doing that with Lucas Tracy predictions. They're making a Streak documentary. It's coming out this week. I mean, the first thing we should ask is, tell us about the 57%. Well, I'll take you guys back. I'm doing better than you on picks. Gonna have to show me the Carfax, man. Gonna have to show me the Carfax because I think I went 6-1 the last week. I think the week before was that UFC 302. We all know I cleaned up shop at UFC 302. We all know I cleaned up shop at UFC 302. This is the good thing. I'll admit that I got the main event wrong because I count robberies, and you guys know I'm always counting robberies. I think that Steven Ercik should be the champ. I think that I'll admit, okay, he won the fight, and I'll say that I was wrong. But when it comes down to the numbers and what's on paper at the end of the year, you know what happens when those, guys that add them all up do. They don't look at robberies. These guys are counting Adesanya wins against Whitaker and Yoel. These guys that tally up on the picks, the Weasel guys that are asking those questions, they're going to give me credit for it. So I'll take my wins, bro. I'll take the wins. Is it just me or does Lucas get red-faced and yappy when I'm in the chat? Probably smiling reading this. Well, thank you for the $5. Hey, man, it's good to see you in the chat. It's good. I've been watching your channel for a long time, so it is pretty cool to see the MMA Guru in here. I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much.
Yeah, body shot again. Yeah. I'm turning into Lucas Tracy.